Have you ever heard of Francis Johnson, the African American musician and composer? If not, you are in for a treat. I am Krystal Thomas, a classical concert pianist, and on this channel we talk about classical music, piano performances, piano strategies, and tips. So if you enjoy that type of content, please feel free to subscribe and turn on the notifications by clicking on the bell and selecting the word all so that you are aware of when I upload another video. Francis Johnson is an African American composer and musician who was born in 1792 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Now, 1792 is considered the antebellum period, so that's pre-Civil War. So, as we all know, that is during slavery times. So, it is amazing that he was able to surpass all of the hardships that he had to endure in order to make the major contributions that he did in America. Many people believe Francis Johnson to be one of the forerunners to ragtime and jazz and really influencing future African American musicians. He was very multi-talented. He played several instruments from the violin to the keyed bugle, and the bugle is basically a small trumpet. He began to gain notoriety in 1818 when he became the first African American to publish sheet music with his work collections of new cotillions. And he actually went on to publish more than 200 pieces or works. And Francis Johnson gained even more traction when he put together one of the most popular bands of the era. And of course, during that time, the band consisted of all African Americans, and they would primarily perform in front of Black audiences. But he started to build by performing in front of white audiences, which was practically unheard of at the time due to racism. And so during the time, he was able to push through some of the circumstances, such as, in different performances, there were white bands that would not agree to perform in the same concert as his band if they found out that he was on the program. And then also there were some towns that did not allow his band to perform at all. And then there were some audiences that assumed that his band did not have the ability to read sheet music. They just assumed that they were all playing by ear, which was not the case. And so throughout all of that adversity, even still, he was actually given the opportunity to go to Europe and travel with his band there, becoming the first African American and likely the first American to perform in Europe with a band. So he had a chance to perform in front of Queen Victoria at Buckingham Palace, and she enjoyed his performance so much that she actually gifted him with a silver bugle. Now, during Johnson's time in Europe, he was exposed to the music of Johann Strauss, and we know Johann Strauss as like the famous waltz king, right? One of the pieces that we're aware of is the Blue Danube, right? Right, so waltzes like that he brought back to America by composing his own waltzes and introducing Americans to that style of music. So we are thankful for him for bringing that over so that we can enjoy that style. Another thing that he learned while in Europe was that of the promenade concert style. And you might ask, what is a promenade concert? Promenade concerts were outdoor musical performances that happened in the 18th and 19th century in the beautiful gardens in London. And they were called promenades because the audience members were allowed to leisurely walk around while the orchestra was playing. And so that's still occurring today. If you shorten promenade down to just prom, that might actually ring a bell for you. It might remind you of what we call today the BBC proms. And the BBC proms is a well-known, famous, pretty much a 2-month summer festival that happens in London. And what they do at the festival is that they play classical music every day in terms of concerts. And it's interesting because some of the audience members that attend the BBC proms are actually referred to as promers or promenaders because some of those audience members actually stand in the concerts in the standing areas of, say, Royal Albert Hall, which is one of the halls that they use primarily for the BBC proms. And so when we think of Francis Johnson, he actually brought the promenade to America, brought that vibe, that style with his concerts, basically having the first American promenade. Put in the comment section below if you've ever attended a promenade concert. When Francis Johnson came back to America, he actually started to incorporate and include white musicians in his band. So he essentially was known as one of the first to participate in integrated concerts and to promote integration in his musical performances and activities. We do appreciate Francis Johnson's contributions in terms of being the first African American to publish sheet music, the first to participate in integrated concerts, to perform in Europe with his band, and to also just bring back the idea of like Strauss's waltzes, and also to introduce the Promenade concert style. We appreciate all of those things. His concerts were very entertaining. They were contributing and made a statement in terms of the racial and political climate of the time. And it's just overall influential to the musical environment during that time. Francis Johnson passed away in 1844, and it is said that hundreds of people attended his funeral. And it's also said that the treasured silver bugle that Queen Victoria gifted to him was laid on top of his casket. So again, we appreciate Francis Johnson and his contributions to America and the classical music world. If you learned something new and you enjoyed this content, please subscribe, like, and share the video. Also check out my other videos. I have one where I talk about typos in music, very interesting, and also check out the other video on 5 things I wish I knew when I was beginning piano. So with that, I will see you next time.